Hi, everyone. Carol Ortenberg, editor of NOSH here. I'm at the Winter Fancy Food Show, and I'm joined by Scott Lerner, who's the CEO of Farmhouse Culture. Scott, you guys aren't showing. You don't have a booth at this event, but I know you've been walking the show floor.
Right.
What are kind of some takeaways from Fancy Foods?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting. Over the last few years, this show has really been about specialty food, cheeses, charcuterie, and now you see the blending of the natural channel into the specialty channel with all the innovative emerging brands that are showing up at this show. So it's been a really exciting time, I think, for the food industry in general to see this.
We know Farmhouse Culture well from previous shows, from stories on NOSH. I think our AV team even has some footage from your booths at previous shows. But for our viewers who maybe don't know, what is Farmhouse Culture?
Yeah, Farmhouse is a gut-healthy organic food company. We make 3 different products. You know, our core product is sauerkraut or kraut. We also utilize that savory juice for a probiotic boost called Gut Shot, which can be used on a daily basis for immunity, gut health. And then we take the kraut and we also put it into a chip called Kraut Crisps, and we sell that in the snack aisle.
This is actually your first show as CEO of Farmhouse Culture. We covered you joining the company on NOSH. How have the past 4 months been?
Yeah, it's been really busy. It's been a fun and I'd say challenging time as well. I really tried to spend the last 4 months analyzing what's working and what's not with the business and really creating a vision and a strategy moving forward in conjunction with my board in terms of what we want to do for growth on the brand. And we feel like we're almost there in terms of how we're going to lay this plan out in the future and really grow this brand in the future. And we're excited about it.
And what are some strengths of the brand that you've observed and learned in the last 4 months?
Farmhouse is one of those brands that I'd say like punches above its weight. It's amazing whether it's a consumer, a retailer, investor, when they hear about the brand name, they get super excited about it. So I think that was one of the key things that excited me to come to Farmhouse, was that we have this amazing brand to work with. And so now we're trying to understand who's our consumer, you know, what are the different products that we want to develop, and what's our true point of difference in the category, and move beyond sort of just the natural cliches out there that I think maybe some of us have held on to in the past. And really in what you're seeing here today at this show is that you truly obviously need to have a point of difference to stand out on the shelves, and you can't just lean on being organic or natural.
And you have a long career in CPG. You've worked with some amazing brands. What are some lessons from those companies that you'll be bringing over to Farmhouse Culture?
I think first and foremost, it's truly understanding who your consumer is, because without that, it's really hard to navigate and you get super inefficient. You know, as an example, before I was working for a VMG company and running Colonel Seasons, it was not a natural brand. And we had to really say to ourselves, like, our consumer target are Walmart moms. They're not Whole Foods moms. And it really changed the direction in terms of the positioning for the brand and how we tactically executed in market. So I think that's the key component, is understanding who your consumer is, and then really what channels are ripe for distribution now and in the future, and pace yourself. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and sometimes you might be ready for a channel and sometimes you're not. And so I think that's been one of the biggest things to try to understand with our brand, because we actually do stretch from natural to conventional. You know, we have product in Walmart, we have it in Target and Costco, and obviously we have it in Whole Foods and Sprouts. So really trying to kind of keep it simple and understand where we should go and when we should go.
You just actually launched into Costco. I know you're doing a test with Walmart as well. Do you speak to the consumer differently about the benefits of the product or what Farmhouse Culture is, depending on where you are?
I think that's one of the things that we're obviously looking to do in the future, is to simplify things so that the messaging is as acceptable and approachable to a mainstream consumer as it is to a natural consumer, and that it can live in both places. Because, you know, we're not big enough to have enough of a budget to talk to these two different consumer groups differently. So we need to have a symbiotic message that works in both channels, and that's what you'll see in the future with, you know, potentially a new rebrand, new products, something that's a little bit maybe more approachable to a Costco consumer. But there's no doubt the retail buyers are super excited about the gut health category, probiotics in general, and we've just had tremendous traction with the Walmarts, Targets, and Costco's of the world, and still growing in natural as well. But it's been really exciting to see the acceptance of these type of products within the conventional space.
Well, I think we just got a preview of what's to come. I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm looking forward to continuing to see the company's growth. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.